Today's show is brought to you by our friends at Electro Voice, makers of the RE20 microphone, the industry standard for broadcasters and now podcasters alike. Check them out at electrovoice.com.
Go. Fraggie's gone, Daddy's figured it out by now. She's long gone to a town she'd heard in the song on the radio years ago on a bus. Frankie offers a rustic gun to someone named Angel on the ride. She tells a tale of dreams undone and those to come.
It's Dusty Wright. It's Miss Suzy Bogguss.
Hi.
Suzy, you know, I've got to tell you, I abandoned country music for a while in the 90s. You know, my grandmother was from Tennessee, so I grew up in a household that had a lot of country music in
Is
it.
it right?
Yeah.
That's
But I had the old
interesting.
school like Eddie Arnold.
Me
and-
too.
Oh, okay.
Totally.
And, you know, when the 90s hit, I have to admit, it got a little too mainstream for me. You thrived in those years, I know.
I did, and actually I'm probably guilty of some of that mainstreamedness.
Well, I mean, but you always were able to resurrect yourself by having amazing songs.
Hey man, we're starting new, just like you, so they ride side by side into the darkness. Every mile they're passing through just makes them think it could be true. I'm a singer-songwriter, lover, and always have been, you know, since I first started to listen to music.
And as well as your own compositions, which have always been strong. You know, that's not always an easy thing for a Nashville star to have their own material on the records.
Yeah, I never have, like, tried to overdo it with that. You know, I've always been really cautious to put it up against the other material that I had available to me, to try to be as honest as I could about whether I can say this the best way I want to say it, or did somebody else do it better, and I can just, you know, leave it at that. I'll sing their version. Driver says it's the end of the line, time to go. So Frankie wakes Angel, hey, we're here. I don't know where he is. It's just some town, it's just some bus, but it's far enough for the three of us. Ooh, maybe we're not alone. Ooh, maybe we're not
Love it.
That is great.
Do you ever just, you know, once in a while when I bought new guitar, sometimes you pick it up and the song just comes because you're trying it, you know, you're hitting those chords, you suddenly go, wow, I like the texture of those tones or something.
Yeah, I think sometimes I have fooled myself so many times where I start on a different chord from the regular progression I use, and I think, oh, wow, this is going to be really unique. This isn't going to sound like any of my other stuff. And then I realize that, you know, it's still the same old chord progression. I just started on E instead of G this time. You know, I'm doing the same
just
exact
inverted.
thing. Yeah, somehow, you know, I started the melody lower this time or whatever. So, you know, it's all disappointing because I always think, I've been doing this a long time. Shouldn't I be really sophisticated now? Doesn't seem like it.
Tell us a little bit about your backstory, about how you ended up in Nashville.
I started driving around the country after I got out of school and sort of using my guitar to get me from one place to the other, get the gas money. And bought myself a camper, got me the German Shepherd,
whole deal. And I did that for about 5 years before I moved down to Nashville. And during that time, I always thought in the back of my mind that I was just looking for my perfect setting to settle down and do my medals. I'd start a little shop, and the music just took over. It was probably always in there. I think maybe I just wasn't thinking big enough. In my mind, I was from a town, I didn't know anybody who'd ever made a living as a musician.
Right.
And not until I got to college, then I realized that you could actually make money. You could just sit down on the street and people pay you to sing songs. And I still actually like that concept, because in the back of my mind, I always know no matter what happens, I can still sing. I could still go sing on that corner, and I'll bet you I'll make 15 bucks.
Nail and hammer, hammer and nail. I need a light bulb that sets sail across this ocean of tears I've cried. The time has come to turn the tide. Thread and needle and thread. I need a sail made of crimson red. I wanna be seen from miles away. I'm lost at sea, and I wanna be saved. Blow wind, blow and set me free. A storm called love made a wreck of me. I'm tossed and turned in the dark. All my dreams lie torn apart at the bottom of my deep blue heart.
Because when I first started out, I played a lot of folk clubs around, drove up through Chicago and Minneapolis and stuff, and sort of tried to develop a little routing thing. And we had co-ops up there, where we'd actually share venues, and here's a little house concert if you need to get through Madison, and here's a little radio show you can do to tell people you have a record out or whatever. And we helped each other, as the folk artists, myself, Nancy Griffith and Michael Johnson, people like this. We were out there just kind of running around, and you wrote 200 postcards every week to try to let people know you were going to be back in a particular area. And now it's like, bing, bing, bing. Oh, I need to let all the people know in Wyoming that I'm coming back. And you press a button, and bam, all those people get their little email from you that says, hey, I'm going to be in Gillette or wherever, and it's awesome. I just love it.
Why not?
I'm tossed and turned